So, I just came out of Trolleybus in city of Tiraspol, which is the capital of Pridnestrovye, and I didn't have opportunity of filming a lot because can I get through here or no? Maybe not. I didn't have much opportunity of filming because the conductor who sold me the ticket, which costs 280 in rubles, there was Moskvich, that old car. She picked up that I'm not a local, and she started to chat about how things are here and how is life. And I have spoken to quite a few people already about how's life here. Everybody says it's peaceful and it's okay, but it's a bit difficult money-wise. The wages are not very high, around 200 per month, $200 200 euros per month would be a good wage, reasonably good wage. Not for the higher end, but let's say if you are working as in a shop, for example, selling stuff, so you might get a wage of, if it's a good place, you might get about 200 euros per month. And for rent, if you're renting apartment, it can be something from $50 to $100 per month, just rent, and then all the other payments related to the flat or apartment would be something around $50 per month as well. So it's not impossible, but it's not easy as well. But people seem to be nice, and people seem to be not too depressed and not too much into alcohol. So it's quite a nice impression which I have this far. They themselves sometimes feel not too good. They feel like they're backwards. They themselves look on Western Europe, and all the young people, at least they say that all the young people want to go to work in Poland and Czech Republic and even further west, and they look towards that side of the world as a heaven and feel like they are not good enough and this place is not good enough. But I think, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I have an impression that they think lower about themselves than they really are. I quite like this place, but maybe I would have different thoughts if I would live here. It's difficult for them that they can't go with their Pridnestrovian passport anywhere. This passport is only good for internal things, not for traveling, because nobody is recognizing this republic. So you need to get a Moldovan passport. Most people can get it, as far as I understood, and many who has some roots there can get Ukrainian or Russian passports, and then it's easier with those passports to get somewhere. This is a new church, obviously not old. Shall we go inside and see how it looks like? this is the hostel where I'm staying. You can see this hostel also is made in the style war encyclopedia. All these kind of stuff, and all those kind of stuff as well. And if you think that wouldn't be enough fun, then you can go to the toilet. Where's the light? Here's the light. We are serving to the Soviet Union, it says. That's the good place to serve it, I think. Nice. And there's even more. If we go outside, there's an entrance place, and you can see who lives here. Lenin, who is reading Pravda. Pravda was the main newspaper in Soviet Union, mouthpiece of Communist Party, and Pravda means the truth, and that newspaper was anything but truth. And also we have Lenin here, and there we have even Stalin, which is even more intimidating person than Lenin. Russian flag, also Russian president, another Lenin, and by the way, here is Pridnestrovye map. How to say so it doesn't glare, how to show so it doesn't glare. So that is Tiraspol, and that is Bender, where I was yesterday. And yeah, you can see even these things are here. Yes, yes. And this is the entrance. And to be sure that you are getting in the right place when you come from the street, look what's here. You can have a barbecue with Lenin, and it is called Hostel like home. And it is actually a very nice hostel, I must say. And to be clear, they didn't ask me to promote them. But I feel that they're doing such a good job that I even would like to say, to recommend you this hostel. It's so nice. Everything is in order, everything is in clean, and the hosts are very nice. And even today, I had to do a lot of work, and then I thought I will just get some few hours in the middle of day when it's the warmest, and we'll go out and continue the work at the late afternoon and evening. And I wanted to go out, and the lady who owns the hostel, she says, "Do you want to have some borscht?" which is a beetroot soup. And I said, "How much would it cost?" And she said, "Oh, nothing. I was just making for my son. He's coming for after half a year being away, and I made too much, and I would like to to give to you as well, or anybody else who wants. And he fed me a huge bowl of soup, of borscht, which was very nice and tasty. Let's see what we can explore and see today in Tiraspol. And I'll show you probably something more as we go. Even more cars of my childhood. This is Zhiguli, and this is a bit... Нет, просто смотрю. And this is Zhiguli. He was asking if I was looking for something. Maybe I'm looking too suspicious. And this is УАЗик, УАЗ, Ульяновский автомобильный завод. All my childhood cars. And this is, I say, this is like a museum. But museums are often boring. This is a very interactive museum where you can interact with the things which are around. You can walk and interact with people, and you can take that trolleybus, for example. And by the way, when I was riding that trolleybus from Benderi to here, to Tiraspol, the conductor was very friendly, and she noticed that I'm not from here, so she started to ask about me and tell about this place, and she told me that this trolleybus which I was taking, guess which year was it produced in? 1967. That trolleybus was made in 1967. Where else do you get to actually ride trolleybuses from the 1960s and to pay 15 cents for that? Is it 15 cents? Something around that. Less even. A good place to visit, what can I say? How can you not like such place? This is the river Dniester, and look what's happening there. That's the car ferry, and they're just about to park on that side, and the cars would go off on that side. I was a little bit too late to film how they were crossing the river. Wow. It's amazing what things people are doing here. So the cars just drove off, and you can see the cable which they use to cross the river. And this is the place. That tractor is called Jums. I remember that from my childhood as well. And you see, this is the place where they drive on, and then they were crossing the river with this ferry. And they drove off that side. And that's the way out in the city. Am I dreaming, or is it really true that they are not using any engine, neither electrical, which would pull the steel cable, neither any engine or motor on the ferry itself, but they are using the power of the stream? Perhaps they have some deep enough keel under the barge, and they orientate it at an angle against the stream, so that stream is pulling it forward. Can it really be true? I have been thinking about such technology in my earlier days, Can it be that they have made it and it works, and judging by the amount of rust, it has been working for decades and decades? Wow. Looks like the man is about to break with this wooden lever, depending which English you use, American or British. Yes, he made abrupt stop with that lever, and now it's turning because of inertia, and it will go and join this, what do you call this thing? Ramp, probably? Yes? He now takes the steel cable on the winch, and guess what? Winch will probably be manual. Yes? No electric, no diesel, no petrol, guys. All manual, all simple, nothing to be broken, nothing to break. And this same thing will work probably the same way half a century later as it works now. Amazing. I'm glad that I came here to have a look on River Dniester. I saw a lot more than just a look on the river. And there is another ZIL. I'm quite surprised that they have very many ZILs and very few GAZ. Usually in Soviet times we saw a lot of GAZ, like for every ZIL we saw maybe 3-4 GAZ. But here there are many ZILs and almost no GAZ. I have seen only one, I think, but many ZILs. Maybe they just live longer, because they should be produced around 60s or 70s as well, at best 80s. This is cool. This is really cool. You must see this, guys. How the ZIL is going off from the ferry up on the shore. I guess that the smaller cars are unable to jump this ramp because it's quite high, because of the... Okay, I get it. He drove the ZIL back so that that end is pushed down more, and now this end came up a little bit so the cars can go off. Wow. Low tech, high expertise. Amazing. And now the ZIL can go off as well. Look at this, guys. Not every day you get to see such things. And off to the land of dreams and rising sun. I was just asking the man who was driving that ferry, and I said, is it true that there's no engine? He said, конечно, of course. And Then I was asking if they have a big keel under it. He said no, even they don't need a keel, it's enough with the shape of the body. He just said, течение давит и тянет, и вперед тянет. The stream is making a pressure and pulling it forward. Simple. And that's the Yums. The tractor, which has small excavator bucket or backhoe, as Americans say. Exactly these were the ones which did all the digging when it was needed in my childhood. Nice museum. Well, don't get me too wrong. I don't laugh about them. I enjoy it. Of course, it's different for me when I just visit. It would be different if I would have to survive with those salaries which they receive. Then I wouldn't be that happy, probably. With all my respect to this place. It looks like there is some passenger ship down there. I wonder if it's still working. Would be a strange surprise if it would. And in this country, I mean Pridnestrovye, everybody speaks Russian, it seems. Theoretically, I was reading that there is something like 24% Moldovians, or 26, I don't remember. But on the streets, I have yet to hear anybody who speak any other language than only Russian. No Moldovan, no English, no anything else. In the hostel we have few other foreigners, but even they are learning Russian. So this is a good place to learn Russian if you want. In Moldova, on the streets you are heard mostly Moldovan. Also quite a few Russians, but at least 2/3, probably more, were speaking in Moldovan among themselves. So here is very different. I like these names. Royal Express. Am I the only one who thinks that it is strange to see anything royal in something which is called Republic? Main thing, it sounds nice and cool. More tourists coming. Why not? Somebody sitting here. Who are you? Oh, she is Ekaterina II, Catherine II. Okay, nice. And I don't know this person. The lady wants to sell me some souvenirs, but she don't know that I'm not the right person to ask for buying the souvenirs. Tiraspol, the capital of Pridnestrovye. Well, they have actually made the center to look quite nice. This is the place which people are talking about, talking in different ways. Some of them are happy and they say that they have built the center so nice that even I like it. One lady told it to me. And another lady said that they should first get the pensions in a bigger size than the amount of rent for an average flat or apartment, and only then to put money into making the center look nice. But they're doing everything all around. She was not happy with this. Well, what can I say? I don't know how it feels to survive on a pension here, which is smaller than the amount of your rent. What can I say? Only thing which I can say is it looks nice for such a person who just visits here. That's a nice beach down there. While no car is coming, I'll jump on the other side. That's the small ship. I think it's tourist ship or something, which might have quite sad times during these pandemic times. If you see some workers working, you can see also the transport which they're using for the work. And this is the new one. It's also gas, but newer one. It's from the 90s, I think. I didn't see those in my childhood. Maybe a few of them only. They only started to produce this model by the time when Soviet Union already collapsed. So that's something new from the beginning of 90s. And here we can see something. What is it? Some chasovnya? Some chapel? I don't know. It's a bit small for even a chapel. And the fence around. Shall we look around and see if we can get in it? Well, it wasn't exactly meant to go through there probably, but it was not impossible either. This is how it looks from this side. And there really is some door, but I doubt it will be open. Shall we check? No. And you see this guy? Well, this is the thing. I think it was T-34, but maybe I'm wrong with the number. 30 something. The famous Second World War tank, which they put on every war memorial almost. And za rodinu means for the fatherland. And there, on that billboard, it says Pridnestrovskaya Moldavskaya Respublika, Pridnestrovye and Moldavian Republic. And Pridnestrovians are very nice people actually. They're very calm, very friendly, nice people in all ways. And they don't get to use tourists very often, any kind of foreigners. And when they see one, they always want to help. Many times people have come to me and said, can they help me with anything? Can I find something which I wanted to find? And one of such people said, you definitely have to go to Naberezhnaya, the, how do you call it, promenade, yeah? Посмотреть на танк. Ты должен видеть танк. You have to see the tank. Well, if you are watching me, dear lady, and if you understand what I'm saying in English now, well, there is not a big hope in it. But anyway, please know, I saw the tank. It's quite nice. Your name is unknown, but your heroism is deathless, without death, to the unknown soldier. In the sunshine in the video I think it's very difficult to see the fire, but it's there. And this is something unusual which I don't often see. You see, these are the typical 41-45, the Second World War dates. But here is even bigger and more central place, with 90 to 92. For the more recent war which they had here. Nice roses here. And if you are walking in such a country and looking and seeing that there are many nice roses which are even watered and all blooming, guess whom you are about to meet soon if you walk long enough along roses. Ready? You know this guy, don't you? If you don't, look at me at my last video. And you see, this Lenin is the capital Lenin. It's bigger and it's clean, and in the places where the whatever you call this putty is getting old, it's being repaired by two people working in a Soviet time gas. Well, that's something. This place needs to be kept, otherwise this guy will not be happy with you. And as my teacher said in my third class at school, I must learn very well at school so that Lenin and fatherland can be proud of me. I don't know if Lenin was proud of me, but these guys are definitely a reason for Lenin to be proud. And you know what place is this? Верховный Совет и правительство Pridnestrovye Moldavской Республики. The Supreme Soviet and government of Pridnestrovye Republic. Like in Soviet times. Supreme Soviet. And you see the coat of arms. All the hammer and sickle and star and everything. Just these small letters. How can I show you? I'm zooming too much. But you see. This is the only change from the Soviet Union. And you see the flags up there. Pridnestrovian flag on the left, and on the right is Russian flag. I'm not saying anything. And here the good people are doing the good work for the father and cause of being of all nations, without whom nobody would exist in this world. And by the way, I wanted to show you Gaz. Remember? Here is one Gaz. Again, my childhood car. And this is the most popular of all of them which we had in my childhood. And this is exactly how they looked. Not more, not less. And here you can still see them functioning and being worked from. Come to Pridnestrovye. Where else will you see such amazing things in real life, not in a museum? I went and wanted to have a chat with this man, but he wasn't very talkative. I asked if they were doing some serious works to Lenin, and he said, just a little bit. Nothing too serious. Well, every little counts. And once we have visited the father Lenin and made sure that he is well kept and all right in his age, we can go further along the roses. In the Pridnestrovye, as we can read it there, if you can read it that far, I'm not sure, depending how big screen you have now. Get bigger screen, please. So we can continue our walk along the roses to meet another comrade. I'm definitely sure that behind the corner we'll find him well and alive. And here behind this corner, and the nice trolleybus passing us. And you see, it's still going. It's still moving. Can't believe it still. There is nice coat of arms of Pridnestrovye. And actually now I understand why I couldn't decode these three letters. Because you remember on this first, in the previous video, the lower ones was just RMN, and I couldn't understand what it is, but it's just the same thing in Romanian or Moldovan language. Moldovan, I should say, probably. And here this is in Russian. Sorry, this. If I'm looking in the screen, it's different. Pridnestrovskaya Moldavskaya Respublika. Actually, I just noticed one more thing. That one is in Russian, and that one is in Ukrainian. That's in Ukrainian, and that's in Moldavian. Okay. The three biggest languages which are represented by people here are all mentioned there. Because they are almost equal proportions, 20-something% Moldavians, Russians and Ukrainians who are living in this country, if I can believe internet. And here again, two big flags, Pridnestrovsky and Russian, and all the small flags for all the friends and other people and whatnot. No, actually it's probably something, maybe cities or parts of the country, I'm not sure. Dnestrovsk, maybe that was the name of this city before. Don't know, could be. But maybe not, because there is Grigoripol, and that's another city or town. So maybe Dnestrovsk is some other place, not this one. Okay, let's not try to pretend that I know something about these things. Just look on how nice it looks. And how brave is Mr. Suvorov. And this is, by the way, Suvorov Square, if I understood it correctly. And you see there, wow, this is something you need to see, I think. You see these three flags behind Suvorov. Guess which flags they are. Can you guess it? If you know all the countries in the world in UN register, you will not find these things. These are only 3 countries in the world which have officially, how do you call it? I forgot. Legitimized? No. Recognized, that's the term. Recognized country of Pridnestrovye. And that is Southern Ossetia, Abkhazia and Artsakh or Nagorno Karabakh. And these all three countries are also small breakaway countries. Two of them broke off from Georgia, and one of, don't know how to explain it, not to offend anybody, Armenia or Azerbaijan, or both. Don't know how to explain it properly. But these are the only three countries in the world which have recognized this country, Pridnestrovye. And you see how friendly they are. And I have heard that they are really friendly among themselves. Well, they have the same difficulties and the same issues and history and so on. And here you can see Pridnestrovye 31. I think it's 1, not 7. Or is it 7? No, it shouldn't be 7. It should be 1. Because it is year 2021. And the country was born in 90 or 92, depending how you count. So this must be 31. When you walk in the center of this city, you can't help yourself but to have a feeling that this place is so nice, so well kept, so living so well, that these people living here, they can't have any problems. What problems can you have living in such a wonderful place? Everything is built for you people. Everything is nice, clean and in order, new and old together. It is almost the same feeling as if you walk in Turkmenistan, or when even more, when you look on the videos made by Turkmenistan government about them. How happy the people are, how well kept and nice is the place. Don't know, but one thing I do know. There is one big difference between Turkmenistan and Pridnestrovye. In Pridnestrovye, anybody can just come, mostly even without visa. If you can get to Moldova without visa, as most Europeans can, you can come here without visa. Easily and simple, and it's close. Turkmenistan is a different story. We'll see if I ever will get in there. And this is Zelyony Rynek, the new big market. Well, I can't disagree with that lady who said that they made the center so nice that even I like it. Yes, even I like it. Among all the classic trolleybuses of the 60s, very rare, but sometimes you get such an ugly thing in between them. It's too new to be driving on these amazing streets of Tiraspol. But that's okay, there are not too many. I have seen maybe 3 or 4 during 2 days, in which I saw countless of antique trolleybuses. Nice! This is interesting. You see, there is some small stream, and they have built a cave around it. And you can sit here. And you have drinking water there as well. Oh, that's cool. Эта вода вкусная, да? Супер. Well, this is something I don't have to hear twice. Let's try it. It really was nice. Now then, tell me, how can you not like such a place? Let's see what's behind that corner. It looks like there's something interesting as well. Yeah, it's really underground where I was. But perhaps it wouldn't be too polite if I climbed that fence. Let's walk around. And what about this? Isn't that cute? And it's electric, with all Chinese hieroglyphs on it. Cool. And what is that? Городской дворец культуры, which means city palace of culture. Of course, there must be a culture house in the center as well. Not only a statue of Lenin, which is over there. Yeah, I see again and again, this is a proper city. Here can I hang your coat? Просто посмотреть можно? Хорошо, не буду. This was still in the same way. Well, they didn't have only the Soviet time culture house. They had also Soviet time person sitting there in reception. She was saying, "Where are you going?" And I say, "Just to look around, is it possible?" She said, "No." Okay. I said, "Okay, I will not." But I will film. I was filming at the same time, so you saw it as well. Okay, what else? We already saw that place, that church, yesterday. And I think this will be enough for today, for two reasons. One reason is that the warmest hours are starting to go to the end, sun is getting a bit lower, and it's already quite a bit of autumn. So why walk when it's cold when you can walk when it's warm? But the biggest reason is I have a lot of work to do, and I went out for a couple hours when the weather was best, and I'll go back to my hostel back to do all the works which I need to do. Here you can get this stuff as well, or that stuff. I'm not the only one who wants to take pictures here. I think for a traveler it is always a good sign when you catch yourself in being distracted and wanting to explore your surroundings more. That's a good sign, which means you came to the right place. If you only want to sit in your hostel and not go out, that's not the best. I just decided to go to hostel, but got distracted by this thing. Oh, that's even newer version of gas probably, but I'm not even sure. Was it gas? I haven't seen these things. So I was about to go home to do work when I noticed something interesting, and I thought, oh, okay, I'll see that one as well before I go. So that's a good sign. As they say sometimes, if you're staying in one place for so long, that's Zhiguli again. If you're staying for one place for so long that you don't want to go out and walk and explore anymore, it means you're too long there. You need to move. That's Zhiguli again, behind, I mean that one. So, I guess I'm still good here. Nice. Конституционный суд. Constitutional court. This supermarket is called Sheriff. You can see there in English even Sheriff. And you can find them everywhere in Pridnestrovye. And it is not only supermarkets. They're all kind of bigger businesses which bring in bigger money. This company owns most of the big things in this country, and I have been told by people that the same person who owns this company also is the main person in politics as well in this country, and it is wise not to talk anything bad about him. So, I will not talk anything bad about him. I liked that supermarket, quite nice. I was in yesterday there and got some nice plums for very cheap money and some other fruit. And now I'm definitely going home to my hostel. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's even nicer. Okay. No, I'm definitely going home to my hostel. And there is one Zhiguli, number first one. I don't know how to call it in English. And there is Pazik, you see, Paz. Even the driver looked at me when I was... I don't think I was shouting so loud. That bus is called Paz. No, I'm going home to my hostel. No distractions. I have a lot of work to do. Just look at this Zhiguli. Where can you find these things? Still well and alive. And that Paz. Wow. No, I'm going home. I'm going to my hostel. I have a lot of work to do. This is a nice word play or poetic play, how to call it. Lumina na uliце Lenina. The shop Lumina on Lenin Street. This street is called Lenin Street. And please don't judge them that it's so small. It's only on this end it's small, and that end it's quite central. And it goes towards the main railway station. So yes, and you see there с Днем Победы, with Victory Day, and of course it is meant the Великая Отечественная война, I think. I think, I'm not sure. Here it could be different maybe. But anyway, probably the Second World War. And here you can see all the news. And you can buy flowers. And all kinds of other stuff as well. Actually, I might go and look for a glue there if I can find. It would be quite nice. If not, I keep going. And don't judge me as well. I am really going to Hostel. As I said, I have quite a lot of work to be done. And while I'm really looking around, I am moving towards my Hostel. So, which is the best bet to find some glue? Definitely not here, although it's a very good place. Vkusnomir. I like these names. Vkusnomir. How do you translate it in English? Taste world. Not exactly. Tasty world. But it sounds very nice in Russian. Maybe here? А есть маленькие тоже, да? Сколько стоит?
Вот этот. А вот 10 рублей.
10.
Да,
А он водостойкий или нет? Там написано?
Клей для бумаги и картона.
Я знаю, что некоторые ПВА водостойкие, а некоторые нет. Там не написано. Если не написано, то, наверное, нет. Это
наверное. Надо читать. Но не вижу, что.
А эти маленькие тоже ПВА.
ПВА с пензликом.
Что это значит?
Вот. С пензликом это. На украинском.
Это на украинском, да? Это я не знал такое слово даже.
Я тоже не знала.
Круто. Пензлик. Пинзель на немецком это кисточка.
Кисточка,
Это, наверное, да, от этого, наверное.
Откуда-то берется.
Да. А сколько этот маленький стоит?
Вот
не, было
вот
еще
этот.
меньше. Я думаю, вот этот. Вот. У меня маленький.
10. И этот 10.
Тоже 10, да?
Да. Но этот
Ну,
без пензлика.
без пензлика. Это не проблема. Это у меня будет полностью нормально. Ну хорошо, я возьму. Надеюсь, что будет все в порядке. Yes, I got it, and it cost me 10 rubles or 50 cents, which was all good. The only thing was that we couldn't figure out if it is waterproof or not. That's nice. That's the хозяин, owner of the place. But hopefully will be good enough. I need to repair one thing. So, let's keep going towards my temporary home. Home sweet home. And also I want to add here a small but very important disclaimer. Please listen before you make any judgments or conclusions. You know, I am very well aware that I am traveling and making videos about a place which is a disputed territory. And I know quite well that wherever there is a dispute, there are always at least two parties, two sides involved.
with completely different and often opposite views, and where there is a conflict, it is often a lot of pain and tragedy involved as well. And the last thing which I want to do would be to make somebody's pain even worse. So when I'm talking about Pridnestrovye, I am mostly referring to Pridnestrovye as to a separate country. But of course I know quite well that many other people wouldn't see it as a separate country. But I'm doing it not because I would like to endorse one or another side's views. Absolutely not. I don't take sides here. I respect all the people from on both sides. Why I'm talking about Pridnestrovye as a separate country is purely technically as a traveler making videos for other travelers. It is technically, de facto, a country which is separately governed by its own government. They have their own money, banking system, they have their own police, they have their own laws, they have their own economy, they have their own border guards, and so on and so on. And because of that, as a traveler, I have to respect that. No matter if it's wrong or right, I don't judge these things. I just respect the status quo, what it is at the moment, and the situation that if I want to travel here and if I want to recommend this place for other people to travel to, they also will have to respect the place with its laws and border guards and so on. So because of that, I'm technically referring about Pridnestrovye as about a separate country, because de facto it is. Although I'm very well aware that de jure, of course, it's not. Most of the world, except 3 small similar countries, every other country is not seeing Pridnestrovye as a legitimate country, but they see it as part of Moldova. And I don't, like, who am I to judge? Is it right? Is it wrong? Which side is right? Which is wrong? And there are 2 reasons why I am very careful about any kind of judgments in this area. One is that in general, as a person, I don't want to call any other human being in any derogative terms. Like, I have heard that Moldovan side sometimes, well, maybe I have misunderstood it, maybe I have misheard, but that's what I kind of hear, that Moldovan side would see Pridnestrovians as separatists, even terrorists. Maybe that's too loud word, I don't know, but anything not too pleasant. And the Pridnestrovians see Moldovan side as some nationalistic, knucklehead type, cruel people who don't respect local people's majority who actually live there. And both ways to say it are very derogative to the other side. And as a human being, I don't want to use any derogative terms to any other human being. That's one reason why I don't take sides here, why I don't want to tell that one is right or another is wrong. And there is a second reason, even probably more important, because I know how terribly painful and difficult these things can be. I myself, I am grown up in Soviet Latvia, which was a huge problem and conflict. and I know how it can hurt and how it can cripple people's lives. And you know, who am I to judge about you people, both Moldovians and Pridnestrovians, and any terms I could use to say, maybe I'm using wrong terms even here, I don't know. So if I say something which seems to be derogative or insulting to any of the sides, please forgive me. It is pretty much certain that I didn't mean it. It is just because of my uninformed situation where I just don't know. Even when I make jokes about overgrown pavements or train stations or such things, I could the same way have a laugh about, I don't know, holes in my t-shirt, my own. So I don't mean disrespect to you people, seriously. Why should I? And speaking about the conflict, the dispute, it's obvious that there are at least two sides and there is no simple solution. Because if there would be a simple solution, you would have long since solved it. You wouldn't take 30 years in this situation. You would have been long ago solved this problem. So obviously it's not simple. And I know that you, dear people, dear Moldovians, dear Pridnestrovians, real people who live in all these areas, I know that you have a lot involved. Like, you have all your lives, you have lived here, you have your livelihoods here. Many of you have lost their fathers in the war in '92. Many of you have injuries or mental tragedies going on and happening, and it is, I can imagine it's a huge thing. And now who am I? I'm just a tourist coming here for 3 days. Come on, I don't know anything. I'm just looking around. Who am I to judge you, either of the sides? And who am I to tell you how to live and which side is right and which side is wrong? I don't want to do it. So I don't say this disclaimer just for legal reasons. It's also really from my heart. I don't want anybody to be harmed by any words or pictures that I'm showing you. What I do want is that people see the place and enjoy the place and hopefully decide to visit the place, because I really enjoy the place, and I believe there are many other people who would enjoy both Chisinau and Tiraspol and all the other places. These are great places with great people and wonderful human beings living. So, all the best to you, and I hope, I took quite a good time to explain these things, but I hope I was able to make it clear and understandable that I'm not endorsing any of the sides. I'm not standing against anybody, and I'm not looking derogatively on any of the people involved. All the best, dear people. All the best to you, honestly.